Everybody. Yes, it is now Wednesday, the 26th of June, 2024. Remember, I'm a clairvoyant, clairaudient, so please remember everything is for entertainment purposes only. The full disclaimer is down in the box, along with the buy me a coffee. And because of circumstances, yes, we don't have the tip jar available, but we did make sure that the super stickers and super thanks are now available for use. And I appreciate everyone who um, clicks on one of those buttons. And special thanks out to Vivian. And let's put it this way, a long story short, um, back when I was in about early 20s, like between 21 to 22, that gray area, um, my dad did we did visit Singapore, and he did take me to the Raffles Hotel for a real Singapore sling, which is the Bombay Sapphire, the Cointreau, plain Benedictine, and the Cherry Herring. And let's put it this way. I made sure that the ice melted quite a bit. Otherwise, it was like, back then, it was too strong of a cocktail. But every so often, some friends and I, we do make the traditional cocktails. And I did see, my dad did take me around to see a lot of stuff. And I remember that the people there, they were just great, fantastic. And I know in some countries, when they hear you're an American and they hear your accent, they get kind of icky towards you. But everybody in Singapore was just absolutely wonderful. And he did talk to some of the other veterans, because this was in the early 1980s, so there were still quite a few World War II vets or people who lived through that. And when they found out where he was stationed, flying the China-Burma hump, flying in supplies, and then coming, once the booms went off in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, he was there flying in supplies and bringing in stuff that people needed desperately, and flying out the sick and wounded. They were like, oh my gosh. They were basically giving him red carpet treatment that Harry and Rachel would be envious of. So thank you so much. Yes, even though it was only a few days, it was a wonderful city to visit. Thank you so much. Now, remember, we're all kind of like keeping an eye on what's going on with Princess Anne. Yes, she did have to miss the state dinner, and she has to postpone her trip to Canada. We're all kind of waiting to see what happens. And but what's kind of ironic is that, okay, Sophie was there, so she pulled out. Camilla was really gracious, and they pulled out a tiara that's kind of been in storage for a while. And it was the lotus flower tiara that was initially purchased for Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, Elizabeth Bodleian, back when she was the Duchess of York. And she wore it as a headband, 1920 style, right across her forehead. But then it was given to Margaret, and Margaret wore it. Margaret let her son's first wife wear it for her wedding. I believe something very similar to that lotus flower tiara, I think Princess Anne wore that for a formal portrait once upon a time. But now Catherine has worn it, and now Sophie has worn it. So I think it's going to be, next time we see it coming out of storage, I think it might be Lady Louise who wears it, because it's a very gorgeous, it's a delicate tiara, but it's stunning when you get to see it up front, up close and personal. It just is fantastic. And of course, yes, Camilla wore one of the tiaras that um, had the Burmese rubies in it. And let's put it this way, uh, Camilla's dad was around during World War II. And let's put it this way, Burma was not on the side of the Japanese back in the 1940s. So it's kind of like a little subtle dig, those Burmese rubies. Okay? They said, oh, she's honoring the flag of the rising sun. No, there's other tiaras with rubies, but she definitely wore the Burmese ruby, just to um, prove a point. Now we've got some other nonsense going on with the royals. I don't know if anyone has seen it. I grabbed this when I was at the store yesterday. Yes, they're going nutsoid. They're having fits because Rachel is blaming the Beckhams for her downfall. Well, I'm like, no, wench. You had everything in your hands, but you just kind of like you threw it away. You were had your little temper tantrum, and you threw everything out of your playpen with both hands. So she brought it on herself. And the National Enquirer does triple check everything that's going on. Now, the other big story is, yeah, judges gone wild. Yeah, judges and district attorneys and prosecutors, they're all just coming up with shit to try to make everybody look horrible. Anybody who's prone to the elephant side of thinking. And even right now, Alvin Bragg, that idiot out in New York that went after Donald, is now being reprimanded big time and really criticized because he is... Okay, we saw all those idiot pro-Palestine fools taking over Columbia University in New York City. Well, I guess some of them did some really stupid things and they were arrested. Well, Alvin Bragg has now dropped all those charges. So the New York judicial system is now applauding anti-Semitic behavior. And it's just gotten disgusting. I mean, take a look at what's going on in Los Angeles. Some of the people just are kind of like, some pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine idiots, they were causing a ruckus in front of a synagogue. Well, a bunch of the younger guys that are extremely in great shape went and started, let's put it this way, they started causing a lot of nosebleeds on these Hamas idiots. And the little crybaby, because I guess these Hamas idiots are like part of the BLM, Burn, Loot, Murder Crews, Antifa idiots. They're upset because the members of the congregation, the younger members, went out and retaliated, and the Antifa, BLM, Hamas idiots are upset because the local police did nothing to save their bony, rotten asses. The local police let the snot be knocked out of them, which we need that more and more. So that's why I remind people, always, always keep your umbrella with you. And now these BLM brats are having more kitten fits because in the state of Missouri, they passed a new law stating, let's say you'd make a big donation to a college, university for scholarships. Well, you can no longer put a restriction on those scholarships, the distribution of those scholarships, based on the color of somebody's skin. So, and I know there's at least one black college in the St. Louis area. Well, let's put it this way. If somebody who has a pale complexion applies to that school and asks for financial aid, they cannot be denied financial aid because their skin tone is lighter than some of the other idiots going to that school. So yes, Missouri has now made it illegal for scholarships to be based on somebody's complexion. And of course, next thing we're going to hear is Cori Bush calling discrimination. Well, duh, it's called reverse discrimination. That's what's happening. And Missouri has just outlawed, made that illegal when it comes to financial aid for college students. Yeah. I mean, some of the other bullshit. I mean, right now, CNN is getting hit right, left, 8 ways to center. We know tomorrow Thursday, is the big debate. Of course, CNN is making it is trying to give JoJo as many advantages as possible. It's going to be a closed set, and unless it's your turn to speak, your microphone is turned off. Well, right now, and of course the idiot that's one of the moderators are what? Dana something or other and Jake Tapper. Well, Jake Tapper has now got his little butt in some super hot water because he kind of admitted to some things with Tucker Carlson that, yeah, Obama and Hillary used the race card for Barry to get his first and second terms in office. And they also did some other not so nice things playing the race card, so Barry could have his third term using JoJo as his puppet. So yeah, some really sketchy stuff is coming out about CNN. So okay, CNN, Criminal News Network, is going to broadcast the first debate. Let's see who gets the second, because it's going to be a whole different ball of wax. And now we do know that Barry Soetoro is still supporting Iran and Hezbollah and Hamas. He's doing everything possible to make life difficult for Israel. I mean, one of the first things they did way back when is Obama made sure to go after Julian Assange. Well, Julian made a stopover in Saipan, which is an American territory. So he was able to go up before an American judge. And you have to realize in our territories, we do have the same judicial system like Saipan, Samoa, and a few other places, Puerto Rico. But there's not as much political crap. There's not the donkey versus elephant stuff being vicious. So that was a smart move for Julian to plead his case before an American judge in Saipan. And basically, they gave him a slap on the wrist, and now he's back home in Australia. Just wait, because, yeah, he was being held basically hostage because Julian was calling out the crap that Barry was doing. Yeah, Barry couldn't handle the fact that a white guy was calling out his shit, calling him out on the carpet. But let's see what's going on tomorrow. That tomorrow evening is going to be interesting. And I mean, I'm not really a drinker, but when I did see the allergy doctor on Monday, that's why the video went direct up, because yeah, my appointment was at 4 p.m. and just wouldn't be home in time. Um, we were laughing about some stuff, and they asked me, they go, because I'm on a ton of meds. Um, when the nurse was going through, how much do you drink, smoke, this and that, I go, well, yeah, still smoke because it shoots my blood pressure up if I'm feeling faint. And the allergist goes, he goes, yeah, considering what your meds are, he goes, yeah, that's a better alternative than throwing on another med into your system, another medication. He goes, yeah, he goes, that's kind of, it's a strange way to do it, but he goes, yeah, if that's, and plus dealing with stress and stuff, if you like 5, maybe 10 a day, he goes, and you use organic tobacco, he goes, you're doing good. But he said, yeah, it's like, he switched my allergy meds to something new. I have to go pick it up this afternoon because the pharmacy didn't even have it in yet, because it's such a new allergy med, so it's going to be blowing all the other ones out of the water. So hopefully it's in today so I can go pick it up and I can give people a review on it. But they were laughing. They go, oh, do you drink? And I'm like, every so often in a blue moon. And she's like, what? I go, yeah, I think the last time I had a cocktail really was, it was basically like around the springtime holidays. Yeah, I had a glass of wine with dinner, and then, yeah, before I had the foot surgery, uh, the evenings before, because I had to be off of everything, yeah, I was throwing some Crown Royal into a big mug of tea. Okay? And he laughed, and I said, well, yeah, I'll probably have I'm going to be watching the debate with a few friends, so probably will sip on a Manhattan all evening. And he goes, I don't blame you. he goes, considering the last time you ingested alcohol was probably like more than 30 days ago. I go, yeah. He's like, that works. He goes, you're not really a drinker. We don't have to worry about you causing interruptions with your meds. He goes, if you're going to have a cocktail during the debate, he goes, just don't take this one. Just don't take this med. I'm like, okay, I know. He goes, but if you're having a Manhattan, that's what, 3 ounces of alcohol over an extreme period of time. He goes, you're within the safe guidelines. He goes, he just kind of laughed. He goes, he was saying, he goes, you're having a Manhattan. I go, well, yeah, if I'm going to have a cocktail, I'm going to make sure it's something good that I like. And he goes, well, he goes, I don't blame you. He goes, I don't remember the last time I had a Manhattan. I'm like, well, the secret is to make sure you have extra cherries and put a little bit of the cherry juice in there. It cuts and make sure you've got it, shake it really well, and use a glass, not plastic. And he just kind of laughed. He's like, go ahead. It's like, once in a blue moon isn't going to kill you. But yeah, we're all kind of waiting to see what happens, to see. One thing I'm going to wonder about is, are they going to throw an earpiece into JoJo? Watch, Donald won't have an earpiece in, but JoJo will. If JoJo has an earpiece in, who's feeding him information is going to be my question. If JoJo has an earpiece in, it's not a legitimate debate. Okay? Now, some of the other stuff that I've been noticing that's going on over in Europe and across the pond, yeah, we've got, they're making a big deal about some things that Viktor Orban has been saying. Well, he's been telling the truth. Right now, Hungary is the only country without massive amounts of dirtball members of the Islamic Republic Army of Iran. Yeah, they don't have any of the military members of the Iranian army camped out. And people are now having a fit because Victor is really calling out the Soros group on how Soros has been basically funding the Islamic Republic Iranian army that's been invading all the countries, all Europe and North America. And Victor's has called him out on it, so a lot of places are having kitten fits. And the news organizations in Europe are like, oh my God, somebody's speaking the truth. Well, no shit, Sherlock. They're pooping their pants because, okay, on Friday, Iran is having their elections for their new supreme leader. It's they've got one moderate guy and 5 extremists. One of them has the name Khomeini. Remember, 79, Khomeini. And yeah, we get all these dirtball women here in Europe and North America who keep themselves covered up, where the women in Iran are fighting to take off their headscarves, their hijabs. And we've got these shithead women here in the States, these immigrants, who yell at people like me because I'm not respectful. I go back to where you came, your country of origin, because they're fighting against what you're wearing. And what you're wearing, in my opinion, is a red anti-Semitic flag that they're waving. Yeah, big time. But then we have the EU elections. The first round is the 30th, next Sunday. UK elections happen on the 4th. The rest of the UK elections, the runoff final tally goes out on July 7th. Plus France has its elections, so what happens across the pond is really going to affect what happens here in the States. Big time. I mean, and the other thing that just got passed, that's getting pushed through, I mean, we know Macron dissolved the French Parliament, but through a back door, they were able to put through a new regulation stating that if you have 2 passports, you can't hold a government job. You have to be loyal to France, a French citizen only. You can't have a French passport and a Syrian passport or a Moroccan passport. No, French only. Those are the only people now allowed to have government jobs in France. Ironic part is, the company Transdev now owns First Transit here in North America. Technically, that's a government-owned entity. What's going to happen here in the States? How many bus drivers or mechanics, bus aides, dispatchers, if this is a government, technically it's a French government job. What's going to happen with the school bus companies? Are these transit bus companies? Yeah. That leads a big question. Hey, Pete Butthead, why don't you come in and check it out? But we know Pete Butthead is too busy being promoting his donkey agenda. And now somebody who's now come out is Adam Kinzinger. Kinsey Poop is now openly supporting Biden. Well, hey, last year I was reaming Kinsey Poop all the time, calling him out. He's finally admitted that he is a donkey. Yeah. He's finally admitted that he's a donkey. And he pretended to be a Republican. Yeah. Big mistake. And the other one, keep an eye on, folks, is because we know that the Democrats keep wanting to raise taxes. Well, Barry had better watch his ass, because the people of Kenya, okay, as a kid, I went to Nairobi. We had to go pick up, I went with my dad when he had to go pick up a rhinoceros for the London Zoo. And everybody there was totally cool. They were like, oh, the guy who's flying the cargo jet, he brought his daughter along. And yeah, I mean, it's one of the women who was affiliated with the zoo and stuff. I mean, I'm a kid. It's like I got to go out and play and do some stuff. And they didn't think twice that, here, I'm a Caucasian little girl. And I'm out with a woman and her 2 kids. And she had a very lovely African complexion. I mean, she thought, no big deal. There was no, hey, I was taught, hey, this is the color of the people that live here. No big deal. Her husband works for like the zoo or with the animal transport. And if she was allowed to have the security clearance to get onto that access of the airport, it's like, okay, fine. It's okay for my daughter to go hang out with her kids for a couple hours. This was no big deal. I'm like, oh, this just kind of cool. So this was in Nairobi. But now, I mean, some of the corrupt assholes in Kenya, they're jacking the taxes up on stuff that, unnecessary items that should not be taxed, like women's sanitary supplies, baby items, like laundry detergent, toilet paper, basic needed everyday supplies. They're jacking the taxes up through the ceiling, worse than here in the States. Well, you know what? The people of Kenya said F you to this, and they literally stormed all the government buildings. And I'm like, yes, that's what, if we see messed up shenanigans come the November job interview again, we, the real people of the United States, have to go and basically follow, possibly maybe check out to see what the people in Kenya did, and maybe that might give some people some inspiration. Because we're not going to put up with this crap any longer. I mean, it's like not going to happen. Now, something that came in the mail yesterday. Okay, I'm honest. Hey, it's like I'm on a limited income, so every year, one of my cousins, gets me on a subscription for one of those, makeup bags. So two packages came yesterday. Who's this thing from? It's from, I don't know if you can read it. Yeah, Ice Cream. So let's see what came. Okay, it's a palette of some sort. Okay, get the scissors out. Nice bubble wrap. Okay. Okay, okay. Look what is Mermaid Tails. Yeah, let's see what colors it is. Oh my gosh. It's got all the goofy names from the Disney stuff. Let's see. Yeah, the colors are pretty cool. I'm not going to swatch it, but I'm like, I like these greens. These greens will look really great on me. So, okay, I got one makeup eyeshadow palette. And then this is the other package that came from them. Wow, it's kind of... see if I can get it open. Okay, there's a few items in here. Let's see. Wow. Okay, it's the ice cream beauty bag. This is the little stuff. Okay, here's a lipstick. What color does it say? Navel? Let's see. Let's see. Thank goodness for long nails. I can open these boxes. Yeah, it's okay. Come on, get out. Okay, it's kind of an orangey thing. Oh, but it has a little mirror on it. I guess this is one of those that lights up so you can put your lipstick on in the dark, but it's kind of too yellowish orange, so I won't wear it, so it'll go into the Ziploc for because I get so much of this stuff, I kind of pass it on to a friend of mine's daughter. Oh yeah, a bunch of eyeshadow singles. This is by Crown something or other. Okay, this is kind of like a greenish. Oh, it's a black eyeshadow. I guess it'll only get pulled out if someone wants to be a panda for Halloween. There's like a matte brown. This is called Infidelity, but I guess it's kind of like a purple shade. And then here's a more lighter brown. I don't know if I'll use these. Who knows? And then, okay, there's a little palette. Ooh, it's pretty. Pretty kitty cat. Oh, plastic on it. Okay, it's ZC, so it's like, it's all Asian. It's in Asian alphabet. So I don't know if this is. Here, I'm trying to get the plastic off so I can show it to you. So it has, I don't know if it's Chinese, Japanese, or what. And let's see what color it is. Yeah, and when these arrive, they arrive. It's cute little packaging, kitty cat, purple kitty. Oh, it's purples. Purples and stuff. So, looks cute, but if you saw how many shades of purple eyeshadow I already have, I guess a chunk of this is going to go into the Ziploc I have that I literally I give to friends of mine that have teenagers, because this is like a different brand of makeup than you can get in the regular stores. So yeah, just pass it off to a friend's kid. They're happy, they're in high school, and they can kind of brag about it, because I guess these lip glosses, the ones that light up, are like 30-40 bucks. How much is this lip gloss? Oh, $24. Yeah, $24 for a lip gloss. So I'm not going to use it. Let a high school kid have it for ego validation and to kind of one up on her friends. I mean, hey, why not? Why not? But yeah, I want to thank everyone. That's just something that comes, and it showed up this morning. I figure, okay, what the heck? But something else that I did, I talked to a friend of mine one of my Hollywood buddies, film buddies. And if you get a chance, it's already the movie called American Criminals. If you can find it, go see it. It's a new take on the Leopold and Loeb story, okay, with Clarence Darrow and stuff. And we started talking. I go, oh yeah, because Clarence Darrow had those boys, instead of facing the unalive penalty, they got it and put in jail for life, okay? But it's called American Criminals. And when I was talking to my friend Dean, who was one of the producers on it, I said, oh yeah, Clarence Darrow. Well, you know that he haunts the south side portico steps of the Chicago's Museum of Science and Industry. And there are times that you can see his ghost around the old, what's left of the Japanese gardens from the 1930s World's Fair that was held there. But you can see there's like the old Japanese style bridge and the Japanese garden and the lagoon and the stairs on the back facade, the south side facade, which is actually the front door of the Museum of Science and Industry. People have come across the ghost of Clarence Darrow, and we started talking about things, and he goes, you know a lot. I go, yeah, I know all the ghost stuff in the area. He goes, and he's like, you know what? He goes, I gotta go because Netflix is calling me. He goes, what if I ask him if they toss him out the bone that we might reshoot a documentary on the ghosts? And I'm like, keep your fingers crossed. It might just happen. Because, yeah, American Criminals, and then the next movie that goes into, it's been greenlit, and filming is going to start in September. And Dean did ask me if I wouldn't mind helping out doing what I used to do in the film industry, picture car coordination. The movie is called Murder in Lincoln's Hometown. And it's basically a mob gangster movie set between 1945 and 1960. So, folks, it's going to be filmed in Springfield, Illinois. So, let your friends know if anybody knows anyone who has vintage cars who would like possibly to have their car used in the film when it's in production starting in September. So that's before bad weather kicks in. My email's in the box. Just send me a photo of the car with the year and stuff, and some contact information if you're within a close, reasonable distance to Springfield, Illinois, if you wouldn't mind having your car submitted to the production designer to be used in the film. The film is Murder in Lincoln's Hometown. It's a true story about the mob bosses down in Springfield from like 1945 to 1960, and that's the year range of vehicles that we're looking for. And service vehicles like old postal trucks, squad cars, fire engines. Yeah. So if you have a vehicle for that time frame, shoot me an email with a photo, and I'll let the production designer know. And I'll come out of basically forced retirement, and I'll go down and wrangle the cars. So I won't get paid because that'll mess up my disability, but I'll do it on my own time, and we can have some fun. And if people are willing to come out with their cars, yeah, you'll be paid for it, compensated. It could be some fun. People can see what I actually used to do for a living in the film industry. So Yeah, it's the story of Frank Zito. Who was it? Zito? Yeah, Frank Zito. That was the dude down in Springfield. So yeah, a movie coming up. We're looking for cars from the years 45. Well, actually, there are some 41s out there. So cars between the bracket of 1940 to 1960. If you got them, shoot me photos, emails down in the box, so I can let the production designer know. So, everyone, thanks for listening today. My little ramble. I remember I still on the community page. I'm taking that survey to see what time you'd like me to move the weekend lives to. So we'll make the decision on Friday. So please make your opinions known. Go on and click to see who wants what time. And everyone have a great evening. I'll see you on Friday. Thank you.